And now for the next TED Talk, Professor Shay John Oliver Clark.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've chosen to speak to you all about a long-lost technology from the way of life during feudal Japan that I have descended from. This hereditary warrior aristocratic system of Japanese society during the 12th century up until the 1870s is what I have been born with in my blood. The samurai blood within me has made me a respectful, disciplined, and hard-working professor. That is why I am here to present to you all the samurai and their incredible armor. The samurai were a hereditary group of Japanese warriors that were sent to protect and obey their daimyo or wealthy owner or noble. The samurai followed a historic code of honor known as Bushido that required them to protect and serve their noble owners, and if failed to do so, they must commit suicide with their swords. These Japanese warriors had ranks like those of modern-day warriors. The Kinin were the housemen, who were in charge of administration. Mounted samurai were the most highly skilled warriors and fought on horseback with bows and arrows and swords. And lastly, foot soldiers were the most abundant swordsmen that traveled and patrolled by foot. We chose the samurai because they were one of the most essential classes in the feudal system era that had a huge falling out when the political system shifted after this. Also, samurai were fearless warriors who were highly respected in China. Wait, what? Ready? I am very happy to present to you all my highly rated assistant, Dr. Mortz. Let's hear it for him.
Ooh. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to have the ability to share the fascinating details of the armor worn by these fearless warriors, who encountered many roadblocks and challenges throughout their action-packed careers. The armor of these warriors protected The armor of these warriors' protectors were thought to have developed from armor worn in ancient China. These pieces were constructed using from small iron pieces or leather scales called kozane were attached to each other through leather or braided cord. These plates were crafted to be as lightweight as possible, to be able to carry out the many tasks at hand by the noble protectors, such as fighting on horseback and swordsmanship. Some of the most important pieces of armor include the do, or the chest plate, kote, the sleeve-like gloves, the kabuto, the helmet made of iron or leather plates, and lastly, the sunyan, meant to protect the shins from potential harm or injury caused by fighting or protecting. There were 5 main eras of the samurai armor. The first being the Heian era, which was a weak armor style only adopted due to the strict moral code. This armor was big and bulky, and the alloy was easily fragmented when struck by an enemy. The Muromachi era followed, which had drastically changed the fighting style and saw the samurai seeking movement and flexibility, and saw the adoption of a haramaki chest plate that would wrap around a shoulder. The Sengoku era was next to appear and was a brutal time known as the Warring States. And the armor sees the change in the color, which was changed to dark to represent the dark times. The technology, however, at the time increased and the costs were diminished. However, the armor saw a direction becoming more economical and it lost its flexible nature. And to finish my long speech about the samurai and their armor, 2 more errors followed after the last preconceived errors that were before this new one. These new 2, which saw a dramatic decrease in the interest of samurai armor. I hope it left you all with something new learned today. And I will now bid you all a farewell as I journey to search. Me and my pal here, we have an adventure to take. An adventure to Scotia to find the lost samurai armor at the time. The gray, win back samurai!